on Thursday. So Mitt Romney was the lone dissenter in the Republican Party as to the Senate trial, and you still see huge dividends, right? Because on Friday, Donald Trump fired Colonel Vindman, who is the NSC advisor who testified against Trump, fired his twin brother, who was just related to Vindman. Right? Like, this is like, not only am I going to take you out, I'm going to take out your family. This is the Colonel Vindman was the guy who said to his father, who was essentially left the Soviet Union. He started off his testimony by saying, "Dad, don't worry. I know you're afraid of me doing this, but this is America. I'm not going to be punished for this." He was fired. They also fired Ambassador Sunderland. Now, I have less sympathy for this, but what is interesting is that the only person that had advocates in the Republican Senate to not fire was Sunderland, Gordon Sunderland, because he's a huge Republican donor. And they were afraid that he was going to shut off the valve of the money that he's given to these other Republican senators. They didn't care about Vindman. This is going to be a big problem for Susan Collins. This is going to be a big problem for Cory Gardner. And they know it. And Mitt Romney has helped that quite a bit. I certainly, when I was, advocating for impeachment and arguing that it was going to help unseat Republican senators, I didn't know that Mitt Romney would vote for impeachment, or should I just say conviction. I didn't know that Donald Trump would fire a medal awarded NSC advisor and his brother. But these are all, when you put them on the defensive, this is what it is. Donald Trump cannot say this is a partisan witch hunt. They have to deal with Mitt Romney. And here is how they're dealing with Mitt Romney to their own sort of like voters. Never mind the non-Fox viewing voters. They are worried about the Fox viewing voters because of Mitt Romney. Because I will remind you, Mitt Romney was the presidential nominee for the Republican Party 8 years ago. So here's Jeanine Pirro. They're basically having to say, and even I noticed Dave Rubin got in on this, that Mitt Romney's a secret Democrat.
The most difficult decision you've ever made? Mitt, you're full of it. And since you're such a scholar, did you ever consider the president's constitutional rights that were stripped from him in the Star Chamber, where he was denied the presumption of innocence? The truth is, Mitt, you simply despise Donald Trump. Your jealousy of this man is a constant rage burning within you because you can never rise to the heights that he has. Because guys like you fold like wusses. And you don't have any selflessness or the ability to think about others as Donald Trump has thought about making America first. And by the way, you're an embarrassment. I should know. I said it 4 years ago.
There you go. Wow.
Powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff. But the fact that they need to do this on Fox News is quite helpful. That they're not talking about the clearly partisan witch hunt. That they're still having to make excuses as to why it wasn't partisan. It's because he's a wuss. I'm not sure what it is he's afraid of that makes him so wussified.
Yeah. When the vote first came out, I was kind of rolling my eyes at the sanctimony of Romney making the vote and all the Nicole Wallaces of the world being like this brave man. And it is a historic event. But the cover it gave to people like Doug Jones, Manchin, I guess,
and Cinema
is huge because we aren't talking about them at all. Nobody is. Nobody is. And I would imagine, I wonder if they knew. I don't know. R comes after M anyways, and J. I don't know, because it's true.
and I don't know if Schumer was responsible for it, but I was surprised at that vote. Everybody was. And they're still, days later, still having to talk about that. Here is, and they've got to be scrambling now. I mean, they're Tom Tillis in North Carolina, they are pouring money into the Democratic primary, trying to elect the most left-wing primary opponent they can for Tom Tillis, because Tom Tillis in North Carolina is worried about losing his election. There's a decent number of military bases down there. Donald Trump not only is parading around someone that the Navy found to be basically a war criminal, but he's also now firing the military personnel and their brothers for testifying. So Lindsey Graham needs to run to face the nation and also justify himself